The reforms are gone now, and the resistance has worked. It is ironic when we see things in isolation and trying to gain a perspective. The Supreme Court appointed Lodha-Committee set the reforms in motion after the 2013 IPL scandal, which tainted the image of the BCCI in a big way. It met a group of individuals who dared to resist the decision of the highest institution of the land and stood its ground to make a complete mockery of the system. For starters, let us glance through the recommendations set by the Lodha-Committee in 2016. The CAG mandated a 3-year cooling-off period after holding an official post for 3 years, whether it's the BCCI or the State Association. And guess what? 3 years down the line, as the 2-judge bench of Justices D.Y. Chandrachud and Hema Kohli passed orders to go back its own judgment, we are now back to square one. As per the latest amendments, you can read this. And if that was not enough to, of course, shake the cricketing fraternity, there was more lined up in the queue. We are giving a more liberal thing. You can do 6 in the state, you can then immediately do 6 in the BCCI because they're 2 different levels. But after completing 2 consecutive terms at 2 different levels, then take a break of 3 years. Now those were the words, of course, of Chandrachud, but cut to the current scene. We're going to see the duo of Sourav Ganguly and Jay Shah seeking re-election or finding different ways to be elected to the cricket echelons. And if reports on NDTV are to be believed, Sourav Ganguly may contest for the ICC role, while Jay Shah, well, he would be elevating himself to the role of BCCI president, with unmatched power in armoury. That itself has supported the threats envisioned by the critics, while planting new seeds of doubt that if the BCCI is allowed to make amends to the Constitution regarding the cooling-off period and age gap barrier, well, who knows what we have in store. One can argue that the BCCI have continued to be the best-run sporting body in the country, and they've maintained a sense of credibility as far as promoting the sports for all is concerned. Let's face it, they host over 2,000 domestic matches in a year. Already the owner of the biggest cricketing property of all time and a team that could rival any team, any day, anywhere in the world. However, the last 3 years have been contentious from all angles possible. In the world of social media, everything is judged as simplistic, binary, but any regime is complex at the base level. While there is a lot of evidence to suggest that Jay Shah and Sourav Ganguly's combination aren't fully successful, it is worth noting that from changing the compensation structure of domestic players to helming the right sail for the IPL and chalking the roadmap for the women's IPL from 2023, they've had a share of success stories to boast. However, it has to be said, the biggest problem is the affiliation to anarchy and resisting the idea of professionalism. For example, when Rahul Johri resigned from the BCCI prematurely a year before his 5-year contract, he was scheduled to run out instead of appointing a fresh CEO. They decided to hand interim duties to Hemang Amin, the IPL Chief Operating Officer, and no dedicated CEO meant that major recommendation of the Lodha-Committee is now a laughingstock. Just to wrap up things, the selection matters have become even more complicated in the current BCCI regime. Even for a tournament as big as the ICC T20 World Cup, no press conference was given by the BCCI chairman of selectors. And a discreet underwriting announcement was all that Rohit Sharma got when he was appointed the captain for the Libid Rovers side. If the board could come clean on such things, there is no reason to doubt that it lacks the fundamental accountability value they promised in the first place. But the telling question is, would the BCCI really do that? Your guess is as good as mine. Thanks for watching CDC Features. More to come. Watch this space.